Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is happening? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, and I help folks create a side income using social media. And yesterday I dropped a new term in the whole space, and I've got so much love. All the people that have seen it, they're like, "Oh my god, never thought about that, never saw that." Yeah, so gigpreneur, somebody who is taking advantage of this whole side gig economy, the gig economy. People are having a job and doing things on the side as well. Mimi, I see you on Instagram. What are you doing? What's happening? So yesterday was a big day launch of my brand. Check it out. Kira, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Hit that follow love button. Yadid, how are you? Welcome, you guys. Maybe. Yeah, check it out. CuriosityShirts.com. And for those of you who have already bought and purchased, man, I am so grateful. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. Um, I know there was a glitch on the shipping. One person actually ended up paying shipping. I'll refund that, no problem. But that is fixed, so no shipping. That's okay. I know, Mimi. I'm gonna, I'll have enough time to bug you afterwards. Um, yeah, so check it out, curiositysshirts.com. I ship for free. So let's go. Curiositysshirts.com. Let's get started with tonight's live. There are things that you're going to be remembered by when it's time to clock out of this world, and there are things that nobody really is going to remember you by at all. Muhammad John, what is happening? Welcome. Good to see you. I see you on TikTok. All the TikTokers who are on, drop a comment or a hi so I can give a shout out. You feel me? What's happening? So you're gonna be remembered for some things, and then you're not gonna be remembered for some things. Hopefully you are a person that you get to leave a legacy behind so that it continues and people appreciate the time you spent on earth, right? However, hey, glow, what's happening? I see you. So four things that when you clock out of this world, nobody's going to really remember about you. Glow, what is happening? So the first thing that nobody will remember about you is, oh man, who wrote that? Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Stick around, baby. What is good, my man? It's good to see you, bro. So the first thing that they won't remember about you is your salary. Nobody's gonna remember how much you made. Naya, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Nobody's going to remember your salary, unless you're really super famous and it's documented and they're really interested, like somebody, a geek like me. But other than that, nobody's going to remember your salary. Nobody's going to remember how um, busy you worked. Nobody's going to remember that. Like this time I spent on the website, curiosityshirts.com. Check it out. Brandon, you got to check out these shirts, bro. You're going to rock these out. Um, the time that I spent day and night coding it, putting every single copyright, every single word, every single color combination, all this stuff. Nobody's going to remember that. I'm going to remember that, but nobody's else is going to remember that. Nobody else is going to remember like how many hours you worked, how busy you were, right? Nobody's going to remember that, oh man, this guy was so busy, or this guy worked a gazillion hours, right? Nobody's going to remember how many brand names stuff you have. Like if your shirt is brand name, is your pants are brand name, your wallet, your purse, your sunglasses, your glasses. Nobody's going to remember all the brand names that you rocked. Nobody's going to remember that. There's four things that people will absolutely remember about you. The first thing, Brandon dropped it. First thing, and you can vouch for this yourself, is how people make you feel. Not don't confuse this don't confuse this with how they make you feel about themselves. That's not the thing. It's how they make you feel about you. It's such a critical point. When somebody makes you feel good about you, you will remember that. You will remember that. You will say, oh, you know what? Sean said that thing to me that one day. I will never forget. It made me feel so great. You know what? That Starbucks gal said that one thing to me, and man, it felt so good. I'm not gonna forget that. Right. The second thing that people will remember about you is, thank you, mailman. Thank you. Um, the second thing that they will remember about you is how much time you spend with them. Hey, if you don't spend time with people, um, they're not going to remember you. I've always said people are like an ATM. You ever go to an ATM and try to withdraw when you have never made a deposit? What would the ATM say to you? What would your bank account say to you besides um, insufficient funds? I was going to say something else, right? It's going to say, hey, you haven't deposited anything in here. How do you expect to get money out of here? Emily, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hit that follow love button. Um, so people are the same way. People are like ATM in sales and relationships. If you don't invest, if you don't put into them, you can't ask for stuff. You can't withdraw. That's why when you're in sales, you don't come out of the gate with your pitch. Nobody's gonna buy it, right? So it's like you investing, you putting in to people, and that's one of the forms is time, because that's one of the things you never get back, and it'll never leave you alone. People say, oh, I'll do this live. I think I'll do it tomorrow, maybe, about time freedom. Let me tell you something. There is no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no time freedom. There's time freedom when you're dead. Are you telling me that you're going to be free from 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3,600, 3,600, 365 a year? Doesn't make any sense, right? Doesn't make any sense. So the third thing that people will remember you is that if you keep your word. I'm big on promises. I've done a couple of lives on this. I don't use the word promise unless I'm gonna keep it. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up? Love my girlfriend. What's happening? Good to see you, bro. Right? So you got to keep your word for people. After a while, you don't keep your word. It's not gonna look too pretty for you. I'm just gonna tell you, right? If you're gonna stick around on this planet for a while, you better keep your word, or just not give your word. That's another way. Like if you don't give your word, yeah, the boy who cried wolf, right? If you don't give your word, then you don't have to keep it, right? And the last thing that people will remember about you is if they could count on you. If they could count on you, right? If you are a person that people can count on you, now that doesn't mean they can call you up and say, "Hey, I need 10 grand, wire it, send it." Not, I'm talking about support, emotional, spiritual support. They can count on you just chatting with you, or you giving really good feedback to them. They can, like, I have a best friend that I can take all my emotions out of the situations and give him all the facts, and he'll just like compute back and tell me his thoughts. I can count on that. I can count on his feedback. And he's brutal. He'll tell me like, this sucks. You know what I mean? So, oh, dude, the Four Agreements Are Money. That's a great book. Good job, Brandon. Dude, you got to check out my site, curiosityshirts.com. I introduced a whole term into this whole network marketing, direct sales, personal development, affiliate marketing, this whole thing. There's a gap between the gig economy and entrepreneurship. I dropped the word gigpreneur, a new breed of entrepreneur yesterday, and it's all over the shirts and the brand. So you're gonna love these shirts. So curiosityshirts.com. But it's how if people can count on you, if you like, these four go together, right? If you give your word to somebody, if they can count on you, if you made them feel good about themselves, right? If you spend time with them, they all kind of go together, you can see. And the other four kind of go together, right? Like, they're not going to remember your salary. They're not going to remember how many hours you worked, how hard you worked. They're not going to remember any of that. They're not going to remember how many brand names you carried around, right? So hopefully you work towards the last four, so you also can be remembered for those things and not the first four. So hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate all the ones who have already gone to curiosityshirts.com. Check out the plug, and have already bought some shirts. I'm blown away. I'm just so grateful and thankful, and I've got nothing but amazing feedback from literally all the designs. I had a guy that bought 5 shirts yesterday, came back and bought another 2 shirts today because it's all like, oh my god, I love these. So the whole thing is, these are conversation starters. You wear them. Impossible for you not to get a response from the people who see it on you. And the second thing is, $1 of every item goes to Koinonia, is an organization that does foster kid placements. That's really dear to my heart. I did a lot of research before I picked these guys. So these guys are money in the bank. So last plug with curiosityshirts.com. I appreciate you gigpreneurs, because most of you are really gigpreneurs. Let's be honest. Let's spread that around. And you heard it here first. With that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com. And I help folks create a side income using social media. Signing off until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.